Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to one and all. This is Dhivya from CSE Department, Panimalar Institute of Technology. So I'm just going to handle a session on Introduction to Python Programming for today's session. So I hope my voice is audible as well as my screen is visible. Can somebody reply? Yes, sir. Thank you. And today's session, it is going to be the basic introduction about Python programming. The session agenda has been displayed here. So the basic about data's expression statements and very few basics will be handled in this session. So before starting the basic primitives about Python programming, just a basic introduction to the language. What is that Python language? So it is a general purpose user friendly programming language, and it is going to be easy to learn programming language. Any beginner who is without background on programming knowledge can learn this language very easily. So it is a user friendly and easy to learn language. So why it is purposely called as a easy to learn languages? The syntax, the primitives are very easy to remember as well as very easy to understand. So that is why it is called as a user friendly programming language. And some history about this language: it has been invented by a person called Guido van Rossum in the year 1985. So the development of this language took place nearly 85 to 90. And in 1985 to 1990, it has got its name by the person Guido van Rossum while he was watching just a drama named as Monty Python's Flying Circus. So from this, during the development time of the language, this person, he was watching this particular drama, so he gave the name to this language as Python. Okay, what are the features your Python is going to provide us? It is an interpreted interactive language. Interpreted means, so for any programming language will be high level programming language will be understandable by the programmers or the users, whereas the machine or the system can understand only zeros and ones. So in between, we need a translator to convert the high level understandable language by human readable form to machine readable form. The conversion from human readable form to machine readable form is done by some translation softwares. So some of the softwares known for doing this translation is compilers and interpreters. Now Python is going to be based on an interpreter language. So what is the way of doing translation differs between compiler and interpreter? What is the difference? When it comes to compiler, it is going to read the entire program or entire source code, whatever is written by the programmer, and then it converts the entire thing. Like just a paragraph, entire paragraph or entire essay is read at once, and the conversion takes place after reading the entire passage or paragraph. It is done by the compiler, whereas when it comes to an interpreter, it is going to do a line by line translation. It is going to do a line by line translation or conversion from human readable high level language form to machine readable form. So this conversion, it is taking place by the help of a translator software called as interpreter, and Python is going to work as a interpreter based language. That is the first feature about Python. Second one, it is an interactive language. So interactive means it is just going to work like a one-to-one interaction, which I'll be showing shortly what is called as an interactive mode of working. The next one, it is an object oriented language. So your Python is going to support features called objects and classes. Like some other programming language, C++ and Java supports object oriented concepts. Likewise, Python is going to support object oriented concepts as well. So it is a beginner friendly language. As I said, it is easy to learn. The syntaxes are going to be very easy to remember and to apply the syntax. So that is why it is called as a beginner friendly language. It is easy to maintain, learn, and portable. So whatever program we do with one machine can be portable or carried over to some other machine at some other part of time. So it acts as a portable language. Interpreted language, extensible means we can use this Python with other as a combination with other programming languages in embedded systems and all. This Python can be embedded with other programming language, so it is called as a extensible language. It is a free and open source, so anyone can redistribute the Python source code. It is one of the high level programming language which is understandable by users and programmers. It is scalable, so it can fit to smaller applications as well as to larger applications. So it is called as a scalable programming language. Next, what are the applications where you can find this Python? The recent 2022 survey says one of the topmost programming languages learnt and to be learnt is the top level is given for Python. The next level is given for our programming language. Like this, Python stays on top from 2021 onwards. Okay, sir. Sir, is my screen visible? PPT screen. Kindly somebody respond.
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Is my PPT screen visible, everybody? Kindly somebody, can you respond? Can you continue, ma'am? PPT is visible. Okay, sir. Thank you, and sorry for the inconvenience. I'll continue the same thing. I hope the screen PPT is visible. Sir, Anbarasan sir, is it visible? Thank you, sir. Okay. இப்போ விசிபிளா இருக்கா பாருங்க சார்.
மேம் கொஞ்சம் பிளர்ரா இருக்கு பிளர்
என்னாச்சு?
கொஞ்சம் பிளர்ரா இருக்கு மேம் ஸ்கிரீன் பட் விசிபிளா இருக்கு மேம் பட் கொஞ்சம் பிளர்ரா இருக்கு மேம்.
ஓகே. ஐ ஹோப் த ஸ்கிரீன் இஸ் இப்போ தெரியுதா பார்த்துக்கோங்களேன் ஒரு வாட்டி. Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience created. So I hope the screen is visible. So I have been saying about the features about Python language. So where are the
Madam,
applications? So recent 2022 survey says topmost programming language. One such language is Python programming language, and it has been used in every small scale as well as large scale application and in every field as well. So some of the applications has been listed out for your reference where it is been used from the beginning. So next, there is a difference between compiler and interpreter. The first important difference, the way of conversion from high level language to machine language takes place. So if it is going to be done with the entire thing, that is called compiler language. If it is going to be line by line translation, then it is called interpreter based language. Then it is called interpreter based language. Next, we are going to see the modes on Python. So I'll be sharing another screen where I can show you the modes, how to work the Python. So I hope the screen from my side is visible. Sir, full screen தெரியலன்றீங்களே. சார் தெரியுதா பாருங்க. Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay. Sir, idle window தெரியுதா? Okay. Uh, so now I'm sharing a screen where in a system Python has been already installed. I hope the version is visible for everyone. Version 3.7.1 has been installed with this system. The top of the screen will show you what is the Python version currently installed in the system wherever you are working, and this Python version, it has been installed with respect to Windows OS support. So the system containing Windows OS is installed with this Python. And I'll share another thing. So if you see here, the Python 3.7 is the version currently installed here. It will contain some 4 tabs. The first tab showing a idle window. So this is the window where we'll be working with our programs. An idle window, the expansion is integrated development learning environment. So the screen currently shared is contains you shell window. The shell window is where you can do with interactive mode of working. So if you want to save some work for future reference, that can be done, cannot be done with the shell window. So you want another mode of working. That mode is provided by this idle window. So I'll open the idle window from my screen. So if I want to work with the idle window mode, so I can just type anything in a document like empty document, and I have to save with the extension called .py. When I save with the .py extension, it is called as a script file in terms of Python programming language. So when it is saved as a script file, this can be referred for future. So if we are going to work with the interactive mode, it can be worked with the shell window. A simple reference I'm just printing here, a statement on the screen. If I just press enter key on my window, it will just immediately give me the response called hello world. So this mode of working we refer as interactive mode. Interactive, it is just like a one-to-one interaction. So if I type some other thing, like, it will simply display whatever I give. The same thing if I do with a, so I have to save this file as a script. So my script has been currently saved. So if I want to view the output, I have to go for run module option. Without running this or executing this, I cannot get the output. This mode we call as script mode. So I have got my output. The output will also be coming in the shell window only. This entire environment we refer as idle window. In this entire environment we refer as a idle window. And why it is called as a idle window is it can provide you the syntax highlighting, color highlighting and all. So can be done here, can be shown here. Syntax highlighting, color highlighting kind of things can be available in your idle window. So it is acting as a user friendly environment for working with. So two modes of operation is available in Python. One mode we call as an interactive mode, which we will be working in the shell window. This is the environment where we'll be working with the interactive mode. So when you're going to save it as a script file and I'm going to work with it, we are called that as a script mode. What is the difference or advantage between interactive and script mode is interactive is like a friend, one-to-one communication, whereas script is like, it's not like a one-to-one communication, but you can save the work for future reference, whereas saving cannot be possible in interactive mode. And one more mode, I am the same interactive mode, the environment I'm going to show in it some other window. So I hope there is a screen, a black color window is visible for you. So this is also another shell window where we can work the same way what I showed in the shell window in the idle environment. So the white color screen we refer as the idle environment. It is a user friendly, interactive thing. What is the difference is, first one, the user interface. It is a black color window, there it is a white color window. It resembles like just a notepad there, whereas it is having the background is somewhat difficult here in the window, shell window here. So here also we can work with the same interactive mode. The same thing what I did done in the shell window in the idle environment can be done here also. So here the user friendly environment is the difference between the black color window and the white color window. And here you cannot see the syntax highlighting, color highlighting and all in the black color window. There we can be seeing the syntax highlighting and color highlighting. So when you install a Python package, this four options will be coming as such. So for example, I'll share another screen where you can download Python version and we can install. So just we have to give python.org. So the website for Python shall be opening here, where you can download the versions what we want for our installation. So in download, when you click the download option, So you can find the latest version of softwares available, and we have to select our operating system. After selecting the operating system, the version of the operating system also should be selected. According to that version of the operating system, we are going using the corresponding Python exe file can be downloaded. Just simply we can download from the online and we can install here. So this is about Python installation. We are supposed to select two things. One is what is the operating system. Either we are using a Linux operating system or Ubuntu operating system or Windows operating system. If it is Windows operating system, what is the version? Either Windows 10, 11, XP. All those should be selected, and according to that we can select the version of Python what we want to be installed. Next. And this is the modes and the advantages and disadvantages what I was discussing earlier. So interactive mode, it will be easy for us to learn and understand. But when it comes to saving the work for future reference, script mode is preferable. So both the modes have been shown here. This is the shell window is called as the interactive mode. Next one is the script mode. Just you are going to type the necessary code and we are going to save it, and the corresponding outputs we are going to visualize with shell window only. So the difference between interactive mode and script mode is, here interactive mode you cannot save the work, so you need not use the .py extension for saving purpose. When it comes to script mode, we can save the work for future reference. We have to save with the file name .py extension. So in the case of interactive mode, immediately we can see the response. It is like a one-to-one texting what we do with, so for example, a chatting application what we use for WhatsApp. Immediately when you are chatting with a friend, whatever we are giving, the immediate response can be seen. So interactive mode is like our WhatsApp communication. When it comes to script mode, you can save the work for future reference, but here you have to prefer saving the file with .py extension, giving any file name and saving with .py extension. So idle, the expansion has been shown here. Integrated development learning environment. What are the features here is, you can use at a time multiple windows can be opened for executing. Then auto completion. When we type any function name, auto completion can be shown, like in your Excel. Whatever function names we are giving, the same way of auto completion can be done here. And smartly it can indent and give you the next lines whatever we want to type. So an automatic feature is available in idle window only. So that is why, that is another friendly feature whatever idle window can provide. So syntax highlighting, color highlighting, these are the other features whatever idle environment. So the idle window is the white color window what we have been seeing. So next, this is about the basic introduction to Python, features and the modes of working with Python. So next I'll begin with the topics relevant to the Python programming language, values and types. So whenever we, as a beginner or as a new to any programming language, we will, any language, even it is English or Tamil or any other language, we will begin with studying about alphabets, then words, sentences, lines, paragraphs. The same way, whenever we are beginning any programming language, we are going to see what is a statement, what is an expression, what is an operator, what is the syntax we need to follow for it. All these basic features we are introducing here. Then we will be beginning the advanced level concept in the upcoming sessions. So first, what are called as values in a Python programming language? So anything, any number, any digit, any alphabet, either uppercase or lowercase or any expression, whatever we are using, we can term that as a value. So whatever value we are using, that value will decide what type of data you are going to use for our working purpose. So the value will tell what is the type of data it is operating upon. For example, the screen shows the value 5. It is simply a value 5. The next one, it is shown as an expression 5 plus 10. The result of this expression will be displayed next as 15. A equal to 20. Here A is acting as a variable and 20 is acting as a value stored in that particular variable. Next, when you just want to see the value of A, simply we can give the variable name and it can display the value whatever it is storing. Next one, it is just a string. It is just a string or a collection of characters enclosed within single quotes or double quotes is termed as a string in terms of Python programming language. So if you just type that string and you press enter, it will simply give the value whatever we typed. So when you are storing some value in another variable, that becomes a statement. That becomes a statement. So b equal to program. Here b is acting as a variable. Program is the value stored in that variable. So variables are nothing but the entities whose value will be differing continuously based upon the executions. So this is the first thing. What is a value? Whatever number, whatever digit, whatever character or string we are using, that is termed as a value. And this value will decide what is the type of data it is going to store. Literal. The another terminology with respect to programming in Python is called as a literal. So literal is nothing but sequence of characters, one or more characters, which is having a definition for itself. So if I give a numbers, the first example shows only integer numbers, both positive numbers and negative numbers. They are termed as, in general, integers. When you are using decimal points in the numbers, they are termed as real numbers. When you are using any characters or alphabets within single quotes or double quotes, that is called as a character or a string or a string. So based on the usage, we are using different terms to indicate different things. So the different terms in general we call as the literal. Next, what are the types of data our Python can support? Our Python program can understand or recognize what type of data. This what type of data is decided by the data type supported by Python programming language. So these are the supported data types what Python can support us, or these are the types of values whatever we can use for programming in Python. So first one is numbers, the second type is boolean values, the third one sequence data type. Under sequence we have three different categories: string, tuple, list, then set and dictionary. And this sequence means they are ordered types of values. Ordered types of data can be accessed via this particular data type, so they are called as sequence data type. Set and dictionary are unordered collections, so you can store unordered data in set and dictionary, whereas ordered set of data can be stored under sequence data type. Normal numbers, so the different categories of numbers supported by Python is integer, floating point values, complex values. Boolean values are only two values supported here. One is 0 and 1. 0 stands for the Boolean value false, and 1 stands for the Boolean value true. So these are the supported numbers, whatever Python can handle. So some it can handle integers, both positive integers and negative integers. It is indicated with the keyword int. So the keyword int is used to indicate the type of value what a particular program can handle is integer value. Next one, long integers. So long integers means the numbers will contain capital L or smaller case L at the end of that particular number. Floating values, it is a combination of, it is numbers combined with decimal points. Complex numbers are also supported under numbers category. Complex numbers means of the form real plus imaginary. So Boolean values supported here is true and false. So the integer for true is 1, false is 0. And what is the data type this Boolean values belong to is called bool. Bool. Bool is the keyword used to indicate Boolean data type. Int is the keyword used to indicate int. So next, a function called type function is available, and this type function can tell what is the type of value we are currently using. For example, if I simply give 5 and ask the type of 5, type is a inbuilt function supported under Python, and this the role of this function is it will indicate what is the type of value you are using. So if I give type of 5, it can immediately respond with the statement class int. If I give 5.2, it can immediately tell it is a floating value, meaning class float. So this type function will tell the type of the particular data or the value. When you give a string and ask the type, it will immediately respond with the class str. Str is the class for string data type. Float is for floating values, int is for int. Then when you give true and ask the type of true, it will immediately tell it is belonging to the class bool, indicating it is a boolean data type. And if you give any complex number of the form a plus bj, where a is a real part, b is the imaginary part, so if we give like this, and it can immediately tell the type of the value as a complex. Next one, another function called isInstance function is also available, and this isInstance function will tell whether a particular value belongs to the data type or not. It will tell that with the help of true or false as the output. It will check whether a particular value belongs to a data type or not. If the particular value belongs to that data type, it will display as true as the output. A boolean value will be the output of this inbuilt function isInstant, whereas type function will tell what is the data type of it. Okay, I shall show you on the screen. So for this kind of explanation, it is preferable to use interactive mode. I'm using for different types of indications. I'm using the type function. So when I press type on the screen, immediately it is showing me the syntax. This is what I meant with the word syntax highlighting. So it can immediately show the syntax how to use. So after type function, I have to give the variable name or the object name for which I want the data type. For example, I'm giving type of A. So it is immediately telling what class it is belonging. So if I give type of the complex number, what I have given here, 3 plus 4j, it will give the class as complex. So this is the use of type function. Next one, I shall illustrate what is the use of isInstance function. So when I'm typing itself, the syntax, the color is changing. That is what color highlighting. And it can also tell, as in Excel, we are getting the parameters or arguments, whatever we want that particular inbuilt function. Here also that kind of auto completion is available. That is the feature called as auto completion, syntax highlighting, color highlighting. So this instance, I have to give what is the variable that is throwing me an error. What is the error? Is instance expected two arguments, got one. So here, as per the syntax of is instance function, I need to give two arguments where I have given only one. So this instance, I'm just giving A alone. It is throwing the error. And when it is errors are shown, it can immediately tell what is the line number and what is the type of error it is available. Name A is not defined. That is the error given here, as I have simply given 3 plus 4j. I have not assigned this 3 plus 4j to any variable, but I am calling it as a variable. So I can avoid this error by means of, if I give like this and ask A, value stored in A can be printed. Same thing, if I simply do with 3 plus 4j and enter, the same value can be printed. So the difference here is the first one is without assigned to a variable. The second statement is assigned to a variable. This instance function. So I'm just asking whether A is a complex. A is belonging to a complex data type. And the error what I was doing here is I have given a comma. I should have given a comma. So I'm just asking what is the whether A belongs to complex type. There are two arguments needed or two inputs needed for this is instance function. The first one is the variable name for which I want to identify the data type. The second one is the data type which I want to be asking whether A belongs to particular data type or not. So if I use the same is instance function like this, A comma int, I'm just asking whether A belongs to integer data type. If it is true, the output will be a Boolean value which is true. If it is false, then it is going to be a Boolean value false. So these are the two examples showing type function and is instance function. So next, what are the basic operations that we can do on all the data types? All the data types what I have listed there. So the data type sessions will be continued in the upcoming sessions, but here I would like to illustrate what are the very basic operations that can be done with every data type. Okay. So first one is creating a particular data type. It may be a list, it may be a tuple, it may be a string, it may be a number. First one, creating it. Next one, accessing it. So whatever we have created and stored in a particular variable or name, we need to access that by some means. That is your second operation, accessing the data. The third one, doing slicing operation. So slicing stands for extracting a particular portion from the available thing. It is like slicing or extracting a part or portion from a given data. That is in general called as a slicing operation. Next one, concatenation, means joining two things into a single. Repetition means number of times a particular value can be repeated. A particular value or data can be repeated so many number of times. So in general, these are the operations that we will be dealing or handling. Very basic operations I have been illustrating here. Very basic operations what we can apply on every type of data. So for example, just I'll take a string. So whenever I need to create a string, I need to give the collections of characters or alphabets within single or double quotes. So here I'm just giving a string hello. When I print A, the value stored in the A is printed on the screen. So now the second thing I'm creating another string. So now just I'm going to apply operation concatenation A plus B. So concatenation is done with the operator plus. When it is applied between two strings, string concatenation or combining will take place. So like this, the two strings are joined or combined, and when it is joined, please observe there is no spacing here. There is no spacing given here. Suppose I want a space here, then I need to change like this. Now I apply the same operation a plus b. I hope you can observe the difference between the first statement of concatenation and the second statement. So there is a space in the second concatenation. Concatenation is simply joining two things as a single value. Okay. But the same thing, if you do 5 plus 5 and press enter, it is taking as a addition operation. It is taking as a addition operation. Next one, repetition is going to be shown here. For example, I'm taking the same hello. I'm just printing hello. Doing repetition operation. So repetition operation is done with the operator star. When you apply a star with any variable name, whatever value present in that particular variable will be repeated for some number of times. That some number of times should be given as a constant value after the star operator. So here a is acting as a variable name, star is the operator for repetition operation, 3 is the number of times I want my value present in a to be repeated. So this is one of another basic operation called a repetition operation. So 3 times the value of a is repeated. So if I give the same thing, a star 3.5, I hope you can see the error here. So invalid syntax. So you cannot give any floating value here as a repetition operation constant. So a star 3.5. If you like that, it will throw the error, can't multiply sequence, can't multiply sequence by non-int of type float. So this error will be coming. So it is expecting an integer constant here after repetition operation. So we cannot provide a floating value there. Next one, creating is nothing but assigning with the assignment equal to operator or assignment operator we are using, and we are defining the value. That is called creating. Repetition I have shown and concatenation I have shown. Next one we are going to see accessing particular thing. What is accessing? How you can access the value for some other operation. How to do that? You can simply give the name, square bracket. So if I want to access a particular value, I can use this operation. I have to give the name from where I'm going to access, followed by a square bracket, followed by the index. If I give like this, only the character present at that particular index will be displayed for me. If I simply give a, the entire value I can get. If I simply give a of 0, I can get the particular character h. If I give simply a of -1, then I can get the value o. So two ways of accessing a particular value can be done here. One is positive indexing, the other one is negative indexing. The positive indexing always starts from 0, the negative indexing always starts from -1. Positive indexing direction will be from left to right hand side. Negative indexing, the direction will flow from right to left hand side. This is your basic operations. This can be applied with any type, that is list, tuple, dictionary, set. So what are the basic operations? Just creating a particular value, accessing the value by means of indexing operation. By means of indexing operation here, 0, 1, 2, 3 are positive indexing. Always zeros is the starting index. -1 is the starting index from the negative side. And the way to use here is you have to give the variable name followed by square bracket. Within the square bracket, the index which you want to access. If you give something like 1.5, again it will throw an error. String indices must be integers. So indexes must be integers. So these are the basic operations. Slicing, it is also one of the basic operation which I can show you here. So I'm going to do slicing means extracting a particular part from a particular value, extracting or taking out a part, a portion or sub portion. For example, if I give e of 1 colon, so the characters present at from 1 to at the index 1 to end of the string will be accessed. So here H is present at 0th index, E is present at first index, L is at 2, and next L is at 3, O is at 4. So the index will be from 0 to 4. Total number of characters are 5. So the index will be from 0 to 4. If you give 1 colon, the starting index will be 1. The ending index I have not mentioned. It means the entire part will be taken. So if the same thing, if I give like this 1 colon, so here, if you don't use colon, that is like normal indexing operation. If you use colon, that is going to be acting as a slicing operation. So if I give 1 colon 3, 1 colon 3, the characters starting from one first index up to third index will be extracted, but excluding the character present at the third index. So please observe the output. So the characters present from 1 to 3 is E double L, E double L. Whereas the output contains only E single L. The thing is, when you apply slicing operation with a starting index factor and ending index factor, so the colon is acting as a slicing operator, and the whatever value you give in the left of colon is acting as a starting index. Whatever value we provide in the right of colon is acting as a ending index. So this will tell from where to where you need to extract, from where to where you need to do slice, starting point and ending point, two parameters. So when I give 1 colon 3, it means from 1 to 3, but excluding third index. So only the next L is not displayed. The same slicing we can do in the and with another parameter also. What is that another parameter? Third one is called as a step index. So the step index will tell what is the gap between every character, what is the gap between every index. Okay, when you are accessing, what should be the gap between the values? So 1 colon 3 colon 1 means with a gap of 1. So if we don't provide this also, if we don't provide this also, by default the third parameter will be taken as a, the default value is 1 only. So if we give simply 1 colon 3 also, we are going to get the same output. If we give 1 colon 3 colon 1 also, the same output. The reason is the third one is acting as a step index, or otherwise called, it will tell what is the gap between the characters accessed. And if you don't provide the third index, by default, the interpreter, the Python interpreter will assume that as a 1. Suppose you are giving another gap, 1 colon 3 colon 2, see the output, only E is present here. 1 colon 3 colon 2. So the gap between the first character and the next character of our operation is going to be 2. So actually it is E L. So the gap is 2. So the reason this L has been skipped from the slicing operation. So these are the very basic operations which we can apply with every type of data supported by the Python data types. Variables. Nothing but some named locations for storing values. So what is the way to create or define a variable is you need to give any valid variable name equal to and the value what we want to store. The variable names can be of any length. No spaces are allowed between variable names. So there is no a step called a declaration of the variable in Python. Here we don't have a step called declaration. Declaration means we need to tell what type of data it is going to store in prior of using that particular value. There is no step like this here. Simply we can, like how a mathematical assignment statement we are doing the same way, we can simply give a equal to 5. We need not give any indication to the interpreter that a is going to store in integer value in prior. We need not reserve anything for that particular variable name. Simply you can use a equal to 5, and when you want to print a, simply give a means the value 5 will be displayed. This variable name can be of any length, no spaces are allowed. Whatever variable names we are going to use, as per our need, we can select the programming, sorry, variable names following the rules for naming variables. So this is the general syntax for defining a value to a variable. You need to give the variable name equal to the expression or the value what I want to store. Some examples are shown here for reference. Here num is a variable, a is a variable, b is a variable, c is a variable. Whatever given b in the left of equal to is called as a variable name. Whatever given after equal to is called as the value stored in the variable. Next, keywords. So some set of keywords supported by Python, whatever that is indicated as a keyword cannot be the meaning or purpose or the spelling or the case cannot be changed by us. We can simply, they are just predefined and kept. Whatever we need as per our need and convenience, we can simply call and use them. We cannot change their predefined meaning or purpose or spelling or case of that particular words. A list of words, some 32 or 33 words are available here. And whatever we write in Python, it is a case sensitive language. Whatever we want in a uppercase, we need to give uppercase. Whatever we want in lowercase, we need to give lowercase. We cannot change the case of that particular words. So these are the rules what we need to follow while giving names, while giving variable names or any function name or any statements. Whatever we write in a line, in a particular line, whatever we write, they are called as a identifier. So for example, these are the rules we need to use for keeping variable names, for keeping writing any Python statement. So your identifier names are the names given to functions, classes, variables, whatever names we use for our reference, that we call as identifiers. So these identifiers can be combination of any characters. It may be lowercase or uppercase. It may be a combination of digits from 0 to 9, and it can also be a combination with underscore. Okay. The identifier name cannot start with a digit. Your identifier name cannot begin like with a number. Your identifier name can contain a number in between or at the end, but not at the not as a beginning character. Underscore can be given as a beginning character of the identifier. Keywords, whatever we saw in the previous slide, cannot be used for any other purpose. So you cannot use them for identifying any other thing in our program. Valid and invalid identifier names are given here. So here num is a valid one, whereas number space 1 is invalid, as spaces are not, empty space is not allowed in identifier names. Next, the same thing, spacing is not allowed in all the three cases. Your identifier name cannot begin with a digit. That is, one num is invalid, whereas one underscore num is valid. I'm sorry, here also one underscore num, one cannot be a identifier name, or one num The beginning character also cannot be an identifier name. Underscore can be used. Apart from underscore, no other symbol, ash, dot, anything cannot be used as a valid identifier. Next, your keywords, if else cannot be used as a identifier names. So when you see if else, they are keywords, but here you are using in capital case. Uppercase are not as a keyword, so you can use them. Whereas when you use in smaller case, it is invalid. So whatever we write in a statement, so here 42 can be called as a statement or a value, or when you have a plus 3 plus 27, it is called as an expression. The result of this expression will be any value. So what is the way to get input and output in Python? So input can be given in two ways. One is by using assignment operator. The other one is using input function. Using inbuilt function called input function. There are two ways of giving input. One is compile time input, the other one is runtime input. Compile time input means whatever we do with assignment statement in the coding itself. Runtime means after executing or after running a particular script, you can provide the input to means of keyboard. For getting that, Python is providing a function called input function. So this is the example there. X equal to input of enter the name. Your input is an inbuilt function. X is the variable name, equal to is the assignment operator. Enter the name is the prompting statement that will be coming on the screen. So when you give like this, when you enter any name, that name is now currently stored in X. That is the meaning for this particular line. So when I run this, the next time I can enter some other name. But when you do the same thing in terms of programming, in the program itself, you are giving X equal to George. So every time the name will be George only. You cannot modify it. So that is the difference between compile time and runtime input. So by default, whatever you enter with the input function, it is taken or it is understood only as a string. If you give something input of using input function, if you enter 5, that 5 is understood as a string only. 5 is understood as a string only, even though it is a value. So you need to do the conversion process when you want to accept integers. So you have to use a int function prior to this. For output displaying, only one statement is available, that is our print statement. The syntax is print. Name of the function is print, and you can simply give whatever value, expression, or variable name without quotes. If you want something to be displayed on the screen, you have to give within double quotes. Next, comments. So comments are defined in any programming language. They are just for documentation purpose. They will just indicate what a particular line is doing. It will not do anything with the programming perspective. They are simply ignored when it is run by the interpreter. So your comment is indicated with the ash symbol. Ash symbol is used for whatever we write after ash symbol is considered as a comment. There are two types of comment: single line comment and multi-line comment. So single line comment is given with a single ash symbol. Multi-line comment is used given with triple single quotes and triple double quotes. So whatever we give after triple single quotes is considered as a comment. So that should be enclosed within triple single quotes and triple double quotes. It is taken as a multi-line comment. Whatever you type after single ash symbol, that is a single line comment. So here everything is called as a line or a statement. And indentation, Python is a indentation sensitive language. So indentation means, so for example, so I am typing something here. So immediately when this cursor is moving, it is indented to some extent from the beginning of the line. So it is indented to some extent from the beginning of the line. So whatever we type after this colon, below this colon, everything should be indented. So if you are not indenting and typing, Like this, for example, it will throw an error expected an indented block. So if you give the same thing like this, so it will give the output. So unwantedly we should not give indentation, or wherever wanted there should be given indentation. And one more thing, this arrow that is this greater than symbol, in terms of Python interpreter interactive mode, we call this symbol as chevron symbol. So the meaning of this symbol is called chevron symbol. It means it is a prompt waiting for us to do something. It is a prompt waiting for us to do something. So whenever we open, there is, it is waiting for us to do something or to type something. When you type something, immediately it echoes that something on the screen. So if it is already defined, it will display the value. If not defined, it will throw the error. The particular name is not defined. So this, it is like every time it is waiting for the user to do something. So this symbol we call as the chevron symbol. That is this triple greater than symbol. In terms of Python screen, we call it as a chevron symbol. The meaning for this symbol is it is expecting or waiting for the user to do something. Whatever we give, immediately it will give some response. This symbol is not available in script mode. So there is no one-to-one interaction in the script mode. So this is about indentation. Quotation symbol, triple single quotes, triple double quotes for multi-line commands. Okay, then single quotes or double quotes for creating strings. We can do multiple assignments in a single line, like this: y equal to z equal to 5, or y comma z equal to 5 comma 10. So this is allowed, or this is a valid operation in Python by the help of a concept called tuple assignment, which will be discussed in the data types topic. So please, any queries, kindly let me know for the queries. Step index, yes sir, sure. So here I'm taking a string, sir. I just want to extract a part of this particular string, or for reference I'll take some other big string. So now I have created a string A whose value is defined as hello world. Now I need to extract a part of this. So I need to give simply the name of the particular string what I want to do slicing operation. If I give simply 0 colon and close, without a colon if I give, means it is accessing a particular character only. This is the output. Suppose if I give 0 colon, it means slicing a part of it. So 0 colon means starting from the first character till end of the string, it will be sliced. I'm sorry. It's just a typing mistake. So the entire string is extracted here. This is the difference between indexing or accessing operation and slicing operation. And I would like to show the next parameter, step index also. So if I give 0 colon 5, it will slice from 0 to 4th character, excluding 5th character. So you're going to get alone, this alone. If I do the same thing with 0 colon 5 colon 1, oh, 5 colon 1, entire string. If I do the same thing with 0 colon 5 colon 2, see the difference with the step index. So the step index will tell what is the gap between the first and the next character to be displayed. So 0 means the starting character is H. What is our next character as per the string is E. When it is a gap of 1, the next immediate character is taken. When it is gap of 2, that character is skipped, considering H as the first character, E as the second character. So the next character will be L. So from L, if you take L is the first character, the next L is the second character, the next one is the O. So that when you consider a character and the next character, there will be a gap of 2 between the two characters, taking the current character as the first character. So that is H is the first 0th character, and as per step index, it is the first gap, E is the second gap. The third one should be L. Third one should be L. Next, after L is the first gap, the next L is the second gap, the next character is O. Sir, can you understand, sir? If I want to repeat with some other example, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Any other queries? Kindly let me know. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for my. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sir. Sir, excuse me, sir. Actually, tomorrow's session I will be handling, and we have decided there should be a continuity with the topics. So tomorrow I'll be handling, and you follow with. We'll follow the same time or recording whatever time you are going to tell. And Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, Arivakarasi ma'am is going to handle, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Not Friday, Saturday.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Tomorrow is Friday, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay. Tomorrow's session I'll be handling, sir. Saturday,
Okay,
Monday, and Tuesday, Arivakarasi ma'am will be taking.
okay,
Okay.
fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. We have decided, and that is what we want to follow a continuity. So today and tomorrow I will be continuing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You, ma'am.